We're live.
Welcome to Money Plan Conversations. And today we have a realtor with us for Money Plan Conversations. I'm Malika Daniels. I'm a money coach and the founder of Women Who Money Plan. And I help women to build a solid financial foundation through one-to-one coaching. So I provide support in paying off debts, building up savings, and just reaching your financial goals. And I do money plan conversations each month to talk to a different professional in finance or real estate so that I can bring some additional knowledge to the people that are following me. So today I'm so excited I have Mark Carver here with me. And Mark Carver is actually one of the first people I met when I started Women Who Money Plan. I went networking for the very first time. I didn't know what I was doing. And Mark was great. We had our first meeting together and he had a lot of great ideas and it was really wonderful to talk to him. So I'm excited to have Mark here today. And Mark, would you like to introduce yourself?
Well, thanks for having me on here. My name is Mark Carver. I call myself Georgia's writing realtor. We'll get more into that a little bit later. I've been in real estate. This is my 5th year now, and I live in Woodstock, but I service the majority. I mean, I'm licensed in all of Georgia, but my businesses come from the Atlanta metro area, especially the north part. Woodstock, Kennesaw, Ackworth, Marietta, Dallas, that area.
Yes, awesome. All right, well, let's jump in to ask a few questions. So talk to me about why you became a realtor.
Well, before I was a realtor, I was a teacher at KSU, Kennesaw State University, teaching international students there. I was an ESL teacher, which is English as a second language. I taught overseas for a number of years doing that, and then also at KSU. But this was when there was some world economic turmoil, and students were not coming over in the numbers that they were previously. So the classes started dwindling. So I realized this isn't really a sustainable career at that time. This was like 2016, 17, around that time. So I decided it's time to do a change. And one thing I enjoyed about teaching was I had autonomy in the classroom, but I'm operating within a larger structure. So I didn't want to do something that was truly entrepreneurial. I don't really have that kind of drive to start something that's entirely my own, but I like freedom within a structure. So I don't like having a boss look over my shoulder, telling me every daily task to do. I just like being given a job and then making my own schedule, my own materials, et cetera, et cetera. And being a realtor was a pretty natural fit for that. I operate under a brokerage and I have accountability, I have responsibilities, but I manage my own time, my own schedule. I can be as busy or as not busy as I want to be. And therefore make as much or as little, depending on my productivity. Yeah. So it is mostly, up to me, but I still have support. I still have resources. I'm not reinventing an entirely new way of doing business. I'm just following the footsteps of people that were before me.
Yeah.
So that was a very easy transition. My parents had been involved in real estate when I was younger, so I had at least gotten a taste of it. And I had several close friends that were doing it as well. So I thought this would be a good time. So I got licensed right before COVID happened.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. I got my license in January of 2020. About 6 months, nothing happened. So I just, we're all at home. Kids are doing, their online, school and stuff like this. So everyone's just, we're always just at home. So I use that time to get a lot of education, get a lot of knowledge. And then really after September of 2020 was when I had my first listing. And after that, it was, off to the races. And there have been obviously ups and downs, seasonality, with it. Last year was not nearly as good as the years before, but that's across the industry.
Yeah.
For a variety of reasons, but it's been very rewarding, and
awesome.
I enjoy being able to be at home, having flexibility. I can go, pick up my kids when I need to, or take them to their classes, dance and music or whatever. I'm not working at a downtown office, coming home at 8 o'clock at night after sitting in 2 hours of traffic all the time.
Right.
So I love the flexibility of that.
Okay. Can you explain a little bit of the relationship between a realtor and their broker?
Well, the broker is over the agents. So when you get your license, you are a licensed agent. So you have the ability to practice real estate, but you can't do that on your own. You have to hang your shingle at a brokerage. And so to become a broker, that's another test. There's more requirements for that. You have to be an agent for a minimum of 3 years. You have to take another brokerage test. And then after that, if you become a broker, you become an associate broker and then a broker, you can open your own brokerage and
Okay.
then, have your own, Mark Carver Realty, something like that. And obviously there are a lot of responsibilities and obligations with that, but if you do it well, the returns are better also. So there's no independent agent like a handyman. I could if I'm a handyman, I can do whatever I want. I just put, Mark Carver Services on my truck and go.
Right.
But there are no free floating agents.
You
Everything
have to be
has to
under a
be
broker.
under a brokerage. So, kind of just like financial advisor or something like that. They have to be licensed and
Under
then
Edward Jones or something like that. Yeah. Okay.
exactly.
Now that makes sense. That's helpful because some people might not understand that relationship there. What would you say is the hardest part about being a real estate realtor?
Well, there are quite a few challenges. Probably the biggest thing is not knowing when business is going to pick up or dip or whatever. Like it's you're planting lots of seeds. Reaching out to past clients, potential clients, listening to when someone says, can't wait for the new baby to come. It's like, oh, new baby. Well, is it time to expand your living space? All these kind of things picking up on these conversations. You're planting lots of seeds, but you don't know exactly when they're going to sprout. It could be within a week. It could be, oh yeah, I was meaning to talk to you. I want to sell my house. Maybe you could help me. You never know when those conversations, happen. But also, someone you think maybe, yeah, surely these guys are going to want to, make a move here. Maybe 6 months, a year down the road. The strategy is to constantly be harvesting and planting at the same time.
Okay.
So you can't focus too much, and this is something that I've struggled with when I was a newer agent, and even still finding that balance. I'm putting all my attention into the upcoming closings or the qualified buyer who's qualified at a really high level dollar amount, and so I'm really focused on getting them the house, and maybe not following up as regularly with other clients who are just curious or whatever. But you don't know if that person that you're spending all your time and energy on, if that actually is going to materialize. They may say, well, you know what, actually, we're just going to take the money we were saving for the down payment and just remodel our kitchen and just, stay where we are. And it's like, okay, hope you enjoy your kitchen.
Yeah, there's no guarantees with real estate.
Right, yeah, so it's a totally commission-based business. So yeah, it's not salaried, but with great freedom comes great responsibility, but also vice versa. With more responsibility, you have the freedom of how to allocate your time and your energy. But yeah, it's not an easy business. It's really, you kind of have to have some kind of support system in place for the first few years while you're building your business. Rarely do people get their license and then just start charging ahead unless they join a team that they're plugged into. Okay, here's your desk. You got to make 50 calls a day. Da 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 da.
Right.
And you can do that, and there are those kind of programs, but they can be very tiring, feel more like a regular job, which is often why people got into real estate, to escape the regular job. But yeah, once you're in the business for a decade or 15, 20 years, you have that Rolodex of people that you can always follow up with. Hey, I saw your son just got his first job out in so and so. I know an agent out there. I'll refer you to him. Get the referral fee and da 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 da.
Right.
But right now, people that are in the business, 5, 10 years, or lower, chasing every lead possible because you never know what might happen.
Yeah, definitely. Can you tell me 2 to 3 tips that you would give to somebody who's looking to buy a property right now? They're ready. They've got their down payment together. What tips would you give them?
So like someone who's already talked to a lender, already, pre-qualified, had the pre-approval.
Maybe they haven't done that part yet. Maybe they're ready. They feel like they have some money saved up and they want a house. What would you say to them to do?
Well, the first thing to do is to make sure the financial aspect is as sure as possible. In the past, where interest rates were pretty stable, you didn't kind of really have to look at them. The house was more the focus than what it cost. But now that's kind of flipped. it's like, let's not even talk about what kind of house you want, bedroom count, yard size. What can you afford? That's the big
Mm-hmm.
variable these days, where in the past it wasn't nearly as much. It was like, oh yeah, by the way, what's the interest rate? No, 4.2. Okay, yeah, sounds good. Give me the 5 bedroom instead of the 6, or whatever. uh,
Right.
so making sure that you have your financial picture as clear as possible, because that's the biggest deciding factor. Not about what location do you want, what style of house do you like best. That those factors will be determined by what you can afford.
Very good
So
point.
yeah, talking to a financial coach and things like that, getting budgets nailed down. Obviously, saving as much as you can. The more
Mm-hmm.
you put down, the less you have to pay monthly. Although sometimes, if someone has a large, if someone has a decent job but they don't have a whole lot of savings, it may be totally doable for them to put a smaller down payment if they can swing that monthly payment. Whatever gets someone into the house they want as soon as possible. Because I always tell people, it's almost always no one ever says it's too early to buy real estate. It's almost always too late. So the sooner you get into the house that's right for you, almost always, it's better. Unless the market totally crashes and everything like that. But if that happens, we have bigger problems than just house prices. Everyone's lost
Right.
a job in that situation. No one's getting any mortgage. Um, so talk to a financial coach, financial advisor, and then talking to a lender, a mortgage lender,
Mm-hmm.
to get that pre-approval, and then you start shopping.
Mm-hmm.
Don't go to the mall unless you know what you got in your pocket, kind of thing.
Right. Good
So
point.
that's a very big factor, because people are always looking on Zillow and, oh yeah, look at it, oh this this house just came up in Cartersville. I love Cartersville. Oh my gosh, only $400,000. Well, can you afford it? Do you know? Like, what's the point of even looking if you don't know yet?
Mm-hmm.
So getting the financial picture nailed down, and
Okay.
then also after that, that's the biggest step. But then another step after that is deciding what you really need compared to what you want. I always
Yes.
tell people, when they're after they got pre-approved, we know what the parameters are, the money parameters. I'll tell them, write down three things: your needs, your wants, and your it would be great ifs.
Mm-hmm.
Your needs, like, it has to be in this school district, because I work in this school, I'm a teacher in this school district, so I want my kids to go to this school. Or
Right.
I have 3 kids, I must absolutely have minimum of 4 bedrooms, da 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 da. So those are the needs. The wants would be like, well, we need a yard, because we have 5 children. Do we need to be fenced in? Not necessarily. We could put that in later.
Mm-hmm.
We do need a yard. We want a fenced in yard. Um, or we want a finished basement, but an unfinished
Right.
basement would be okay, that we could finish later. So it's not a deal breaker, but something that would, if one came up with this, the other didn't have it, you would certainly go to that first one.
Okay.
uh, and then it would be great ifs would be a lake view, or modern farmhouse architecture, something like that, like the
Right.
dream kind of things. Because sometimes you may find some of those elements. You may not, probably not all of them, but you never know when that happens. But prioritizing what you really need, because people think, man, I really want that white paint with black shutters and black gutters. It's like, well, you can paint any house any color. School district do you want? Let's get the let's get the crust laid out before we put the toppings on the pizza, kind of thing.
Right. Exactly. All
But yeah,
right.
people get caught up in all the fun aspects of it, like, like quartz countertops, and
Right.
how much
Yeah.
light is coming into the
Like that's all
sunroom.
stuff you can do once you move in.
Right. Yeah.
Decorate.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. No, those are some great tips. Um, what would a previous client say about you? Like maybe what's one word that they would use to describe you?
Well, um, I would say, and this is something that I've always strived to be, three things. I would say: honest, punctual, and dependable. So,
Nice.
especially with the dependability aspect, because there's so much, it's almost a surprise when people come through on their word, or do what they say. It's like, oh my gosh, you actually did what you promised, you delivered on what you promised. It's like, that shouldn't
Yeah.
be a surprise, but unfortunately, it is. People are so used to having someone else drop the ball, or being screwed over, or whatever. So I try to be, no matter what else is happening out there, Mark is the calm one, the rock in the
Hmm.
middle of the the waves, kind of a thing. And so yeah, I would say people would say that was something that I feel like I have embodied that in my transactions. So I would hope that other people would have the same thing to think
Yeah.
about me.
That's
I'm
great. I
not.
think those are important things for people to look for when they're looking for a realtor.
Oh, certainly, yeah.
So definitely, that's great.
Mhm.
All right, what's something fun that you want people to know about you?
Fun. Well, like I said, I call myself Georgia's writing realtor. Not riding like motorcycles. That would be really cool. Something slightly less cool is writing. WRITING. I'm a published author. I've written several novels under my own name and also a pen name as well. I've several. Have a whole shelf down there with.
That's awesome. Can you show us one? Can you show us one of your books?
Okay, yeah. Give me a second. I'll go out of the camera.
Okay.
Right.
That's really cool.
So
We have the Georgia Writing Realtor today.
Realtor. So I'll show you these right here. These are some of my books under my pen name. My pen name. Let me. Here we go. Try to not.
Yep. Serenity Hope.
Michael Winstill is my pen name, and Michael Winstill writes books about girls with their horses. I wrote a book here about a family in the Great Depression. I have another book that I just sold out of up in Pennsylvania, like historical fiction. These are more.
And my daughter loves horse books, so we'll have to get in touch for some of those.
Yeah, they're on Amazon, and I'll send you some for free. Just give me your address. Thank you. I'll have Michael Winstill sign them for you.
Right, that'd be awesome.
And then over here, so here are some books that Mark Carver has written. They're a little bit more. I'm trying to get it centered here. They're a bit more edgy, as you can tell from the covers here. So this one's actually being re-released this month with a brand new cover. Much more.
That is great.
I wrote this book about an oil rig disaster, like Deepwater Horizon, blowing up, with a real life oil driller right there, Michael and Natra.
Wow.
This is a book about this is about mixed martial arts fighting right here. And this is a book here about the Black Death plague in Germany in the Middle Ages and stuff like that.
Oh my gosh, this is great.
So yeah, I have two writing personalities because I don't want to have like any brand confusion. Someone, these two don't look like
very different. Yes.
So you go to McDonald's, you don't expect, fried rice. You go to Panda Express, that's what you get.
Right. Okay. That is awesome. I love that. And I love that. I'm sure real estate allows you that flexibility to have more time to write than a regular 9-to-5 would. So congrats to you on those books. I can't wait to check those out. Okay, we only have a few more minutes left. Okay. I want to let you share anything else that you want people to know about you, and then also let people know how to get in touch with you if they are looking to buy in the metro Atlanta area, and how they can contact you.
Well, I love my passion is helping first-time home buyers get off of, I call it the rent carousel. Your money is just evaporating and paying for time. There's nothing wrong with renting, especially if someone is, an investor or a landlord. Obviously that's a source of income for them. But for those tenants to get stuck in that, especially if they don't have to be, I'm passionate about putting people into homes that they own so they can start building their assets. Because you obviously know, as a financial coach, property is the foundation of wealth for most people.
Yes.
A few people hit it rich in the stock market, but the average person who makes any money in their lifetime, it's going to be because of property they own. So when you rent, you're not building any value. You're not building, you don't have an asset that you can borrow against or use in case of emergencies or whatever. All you're paying for is time. So I love talking to people about helping them transition from being a renter into a homeowner, especially with the price of rent these days. It's pretty much the price of a mortgage. Like the only difference really is someone's credit score. Like, I can't buy because my credit score is too low. It's like, well, let's get you on a plan so that you can build that credit score to get to that point. And that's what a lender obviously would do, not me, or someone like you as well, putting them on a path to financial sustainability. So I love helping first-time home buyers. So if someone's even just peripherally curious about it, I love to get in touch with them, just to talk them through what the process looks like. It may be right for them now, it may be right for them in a couple of years, but at least having a goal to attain, because very few people want to rent for their whole life.
Right.
everyone wants to be a homeowner at some point. It just seems very daunting these days when they see the news, and you must make, triple, six figures to afford even a basic house in America. It's like, well, maybe, and in San Francisco or something, but
Right.
there's always something affordable somewhere that you can find.
Yes, I agree.
So I want to help people do that. So they can reach out to me with by phone, by email. My email address is just my name, Mark Carver at KellerWilliams.com. You can also find go to my website that has my contact information there. It's www.callcarver.com.
All right, great. Thank you so much, Mark. And I'm going to leave with one more fun question before we head out.
Okay.
What do you listen to when you are driving to a showing or getting ready for a showing? Is there a certain type of music you like, or a podcast, or anything like that?
I have a regular rotation of podcasts, a few housing news podcasts, a couple of sermon series that I listen to, some just general news podcast. I'm a news junkie, so kind of boring. But if I've listened to the entirety of the podcasts that are available, I'll listen to country music.
All right. Awesome. Well, thank you so much for joining us today, Mark. This was great. I hope everyone that tuned in learned a lot about real estate and about Mark. And if you are interested in getting into a property soon, you can always reach out to Mark. And we will be joining again next month with a new person in finance to talk to during Money Plan Conversations. Bye.
All right. Bye-bye. Take care.